It all started online, but soon it became real. The internet can be a fascinating place, filled with stories, games, and viral trends. But sometimes, those trends take a terrifying turn. What starts as a hoax spreads like wildfire, fueling paranoia, panic, and even tragedy. Tonight, we dive into 5 chilling cases where the internet wasn't just a place of entertainment, it became a nightmare. Once you start the game, there's no going back. It was a game with no winners, a hidden corner of the internet that preyed on the vulnerable, a challenge that led to real-life horror. Parents were terrified, governments issued warnings, and yet, no one knew exactly where it came from. The Blue Whale Challenge wasn't just a game, it was a psychological nightmare. The year was 2016. In a small corner of the Russian internet, whispers began to emerge about a game unlike any other. A game that started as an urban legend, but soon turned into something far more terrifying. At first, it seemed like just another creepy internet story. A set of challenges spread across social media, promising an intense, thrilling experience. But as more teenagers got involved, it became clear, this was no ordinary game. The final level? Death. The Blue Whale Challenge was rumored to be a 50-day journey, a series of increasingly disturbing tasks assigned by Accurator, a mysterious figure who manipulated players into submission. It started with small, unsettling requests. Wake up at 4:20 a.m., watch horror movies all night, carve a whale into your skin, stand on the edge of a rooftop, don't tell anyone, or we'll come for you. At first, these tasks seemed like mere psychological tests. But as the days passed, the challenges turned darker. Players were told to isolate themselves from friends and family, to self-harm, to perform acts of psychological torture. Until the final task, the one that ended it all. And then, the bodies started appearing. One of the first widely reported cases was that of Rina Palenkova, a 17-year-old girl from Russia. She posted a chilling selfie moments before taking her own life. Soon after, police discovered links between her death and an underground internet game. She wasn't alone. In Brazil, a 16-year-old was found dead in her bedroom, her final messages revealing she had been part of the game. In India, a boy left behind cryptic notes referencing the blue whale before jumping from his rooftop. Across Europe, the United States, and South America, more cases followed, each eerily similar, each more disturbing than the last. But who created this game? Who was pulling the strings? In 2017, Russian authorities arrested a man named Philip Budeikin, a former psychology student. His confession was as chilling as the game itself. Budeikin admitted that he had created the challenge to cleanse society, targeting those he considered biological waste. He showed no remorse. To him, it wasn't a crime, it was a twisted experiment. As media coverage exploded, panic spread worldwide. Parents were terrified, schools issued warnings, and social media platforms scrambled to ban any mention of the Blue Whale Challenge. But was it all real? Investigations revealed that many cases were exaggerated, that hysteria had fueled copycat incidents. Yet even if the game wasn't as widespread as feared, the damage had been done. The internet had created a monster, one that preyed on loneliness, depression, and the desperate search for belonging. The Blue Whale Challenge exposed something far scarier than an online game. It revealed the dark underbelly of the internet, where predators hide behind screens, manipulating the vulnerable. In response, major platforms like TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram cracked down on similar challenges, banning harmful content and increasing suicide prevention resources. But the question remains, how many more dangerous games are lurking in the shadows of the internet, waiting for their next victim? If you or someone you know is struggling, help is available. Don't play the game. Don't be another statistic. Imagine this, you're walking down a hallway in your house, in your school, in your office, and suddenly something feels wrong. You blink, take a step forward, and in an instant, the world around you changes. The walls are yellowed, stained with time, the carpet is damp beneath your feet, the air thick with the smell of mold and old dust, and worst of all, the buzzing, that awful, never-ending buzzing of fluorescent lights. You try to find a way out, but every hallway looks the same, every turn takes you back to where you started, and then, you hear it. You're not alone. The Backrooms started as an internet myth. A simple image posted on 4chan's paranormal board in 2019. A single, unassuming photo of an empty, yellow-lit office space. At first glance, it looked harmless, but something about it felt wrong. The image was unsettling, deeply uncanny. It triggered a primal fear in people, the fear of being trapped somewhere you don't belong. A user then described the Backrooms as a place you could accidentally enter, by no clipping out of reality. One wrong step, and suddenly, you'd be here. People became obsessed. They started writing about it, theorizing its nature, its levels, its creatures. The Backrooms wasn't just a creepy image anymore, it was a world, and people wanted to explore it. Soon, the Backrooms became an internet sensation. Writers expanded on its lore, creating a vast system of levels, each one more terrifying than the last. Level 0 is where it starts, endless yellow hallways. But go deeper and things get worse. Level 1, an empty industrial warehouse buzzing with unseen danger. Level 2, boiling hot tunnels filled with strange, lurking figures. And then, there are the ones you should never reach, because once you're too deep, there's no coming back. And then came the creatures, the entities that roam the halls. They don't speak, they don't breathe, but they're always watching. No one knows what they are. Some say they're remnants of people who got trapped here. Others think there's something much older. But the one thing everyone agrees on, if you see one, run. At first the Backrooms was just a creepy internet legend. But then, something strange happened. People started claiming they had actually been there. Some said they had memories of it from childhood. Others posted real-life videos showing endless, maze-like hallways that looked exactly like the images online. Even more terrifying, some people went missing shortly after discussing the Backrooms online. One user claimed his friend had gone searching for a real-life entrance, and never came back. And then, came the found footage. In 2022, filmmaker Kane Pixels released a series of found footage horror videos about the Backrooms, and they went viral. These videos looked real, too real. People speculated, was this just a film project, or had he actually found something? Kane's Backrooms series created a new wave of obsession, and with it, new theories. Some say the Backrooms is just fiction, a creepy internet legend. But others, they believe it's something much darker, a real place, hidden just beyond our reality. Have people accidentally slipped into it? Have we already lost people to it? And more importantly, could you be next? If you ever feel like reality glitches for just a second, pray you don't fall through, because once you're in, there's no way out. In 2018, a disturbing figure appeared on children's screens. A message, a challenge, a terrifying game that supposedly encouraged kids to harm themselves, and even take their own lives. But was it real, or was it something much darker? An internet hoax that spiraled out of control? To understand Momo, we have to go back to where it all began. It wasn't a game. It wasn't a secret challenge. It was a sculpture, a grotesque art piece called Motherbird by Japanese artist Keisuke Aisawa. Created in 2016, it was displayed at a Tokyo gallery before fading into obscurity. But the internet had other plans. Somewhere along the way, Momo's terrifying face was stolen and turned into something else, something sinister. By 2018, rumors spread that children were receiving WhatsApp messages from Momo. The messages dared them to complete dangerous tasks, leading up to self-harm and even suicide. Parents panicked, schools issued warnings. But the truth? It was more complicated than anyone realized. The Momo Challenge quickly went from rumor to worldwide hysteria. Reports claimed that Momo's messages were hidden inside YouTube videos, specifically targeting children's content. Parents said their kids were terrified, some refused to sleep, others acted strangely after watching certain videos. But here's where things got even stranger. Despite the panic, authorities couldn't find any real evidence of Momo actually messaging kids. Not a single confirmed case of Momo-linked self-harm was ever proven. So if Momo wasn't real, why were so many people afraid? In reality, Momo never needed to be real to cause damage. It was fear itself that spread like wildfire. The internet played a massive role. YouTubers, influencers, and even mainstream media picked up the story, amplifying the fear. The more people talked about Momo, the more real it seemed. Momo became an urban legend overnight, and like all urban legends, it started evolving. Soon people claimed Momo had spread to online games like Fortnite and Minecraft. Some believed Momo was hacking into phones, sending messages late at night. None of it was true, but none of that mattered. The damage was already done. Despite being a hoax, the Momo Challenge had real consequences. Some schools banned discussions about it, police departments issued warnings, and worst of all, people actually got hurt. In Argentina, a 12-year-old girl was found dead under mysterious circumstances, with police initially linking it to the Momo Challenge. In India, WhatsApp messages about Momo led to widespread paranoia. And in the UK, children as young as 5 were reported crying and unable to sleep after hearing about Momo at school. Experts believe that the real danger wasn't Momo itself, it was the fear it created. A psychological phenomenon called moral panic took over, where society's fear of new technology led to exaggerated dangers. The same thing happened with the Blue Whale Challenge and even older urban legends like Bloody Mary. By 2019, the truth about Momo started coming out. YouTube confirmed there was no evidence of hidden Momo videos targeting kids. WhatsApp reported no actual cases of Momo sending messages. It was all an illusion, an internet-born nightmare that had spiraled out of control. Even the artist behind the original sculpture was shocked. Keisuke Aisawa revealed that Mother Bird had long since decayed and been discarded. "It's gone," he said. But was the fear ever truly gone? Even today, Momo lingers in internet horror culture. It inspired movies, creepypastas, and even real-world paranoia. It's a reminder that in the digital age, fear spreads faster than facts. A single disturbing image, a whisper of a challenge, and suddenly, millions believe the nightmare is real. So, next time you hear about a deadly challenge online, ask yourself, is it real? Or is it just another ghost in the machine? It was a movie that disappeared for nearly a decade. Until one night in 2020 it came back and left viewers horrified. In 2011, a low-budget horror film called Megan Is Missing was released to little fanfare. Inspired by true crimes, it told the disturbing story of two teenage girls, Megan Stewart and Amy Herman, through webcam footage, video calls, and news reports. What started as a story about teenage friendships quickly spiraled into something unbearably terrifying. The film depicted the dangers of online predators in a way no other movie had: raw, unfiltered, realistic, and in its final 22 minutes, it became almost unwatchable. The film's final act was so brutal, so disturbing that it was banned in multiple countries. Critics dismissed it as torture porn. It vanished into obscurity. But then, nearly a decade later, it resurfaced in the worst way imaginable. In November 2020, a trend emerged on TikTok. Users started filming themselves before and after watching Megan Is Missing. The reactions? Utter devastation, tears, fear, regret. The movie had become an internet challenge. But no one was prepared for what they were about to see. The resurgence spread like wildfire. People described feeling physically ill, some even regretted watching it at all. But why? What made this film so different from any other horror movie? Unlike most horror movies, Megan Is Missing wasn't filled with jump scares or supernatural monsters. Instead, it used found footage, webcam clips, chat room logs, and police reports to create something truly terrifying, a realistic nightmare. The film's villain, Josh, was an anonymous online predator, a character without a face, just a voice, making him all the more terrifying. Megan thought she was talking to another teenager, but by the time she realized the truth, it was too late. And then, there was the barrel scene, a moment so deeply horrifying it left viewers traumatized. But while the horror may have been fictional, the warning was very real. Megan Is Missing wasn't just a horror film, it was based on real cases. Director Michael Goy studied real-life kidnappings and child abduction cases, like the disappearance of Megan Conca, Amber Hagerman, and the real-life horrors of online predators, to craft a story that felt eerily authentic. It was meant to educate, not entertain, a cautionary tale about the dangers lurking online. But in 2020, its resurgence became something far different, a viral trend that left psychological scars on those who watched. In the wake of the viral resurgence, debates raged on. Some claimed it was an important film that every teenager should see. Others argued it was trauma disguised as entertainment. But one thing was clear, those who watched it never forgot it. Today, Megan Is Missing remains one of the most controversial horror films ever made. It left scars, it sparked debates, and it proved that sometimes, the scariest monsters aren't in movies, they're online. The words "Are you alone?" appear on screen, then static, cut to black. In 2016, a terrifying phenomenon gripped the world. Mysterious clowns, grotesque, silent, and lurking, began appearing in towns across America. At first it seemed like a hoax, a prank gone too far. But as reports escalated and the panic spread, one chilling question remained: who were they, and what did they want? It all began in August 2016. In the quiet town of Greenville, South Carolina, children reported seeing menacing clowns standing at the edge of the woods. They claimed the figures tried to lure them inside, offering money, candy, or simply waving them forward with an eerie smile. Parents panicked, the police investigated, but when officers arrived, there was no one there. At first, the authorities dismissed the claims. No physical evidence, no footprints, no security footage, but then, the sightings spread. Soon the clowns were everywhere. From Pennsylvania to Kentucky, from California to Wisconsin, reports flooded in. People swore they saw them, sometimes staring, sometimes running towards them. Others claimed they heard whispers and giggles from the darkness. The internet exploded. Hashtags like #Clown Sightings and #Killer Clowns trended worldwide. But were these real threats, or just elaborate hoaxes? As the panic escalated, so did the dangers. Schools went into lockdown. Parents stopped letting their children play outside. Some communities banned clown costumes entirely. But the scariest part? It wasn't just about the fear anymore. People started taking action. In Pennsylvania, a teenager was stabbed to death during an altercation allegedly linked to the clown hysteria. Elsewhere, innocent people wearing clown costumes were assaulted by terrified citizens. The lines between urban legend and real danger had blurred. With the media in a frenzy, real criminals took advantage of the fear. Robberies were carried out by masked clowns. Some pranksters took things too far, jumping out at unsuspecting victims, wielding knives, or stalking strangers. Police departments across the country were overwhelmed. Was this just a joke anymore, or something much darker? Experts began speculating. Some believed it was an elaborate viral marketing campaign, especially with remake coming soon. Others thought it was a mass hysteria event, similar to past scares like the Satanic Panic of the 1980s. And then, there were those who believed something more sinister was at play. By late 2016, the sightings slowed. Law enforcement cracked down, pranksters were arrested, and the public moved on. But the fear, that never really left. Coulrophobia, the fear of clowns, saw a massive spike. Schools and communities still remain cautious. And every so often, a clown sighting resurfaces. A single figure standing motionless in the night, waiting to be seen. Maybe it was all just a prank. Maybe it was mass hysteria. Or maybe, just maybe, the clowns are still out there, waiting, watching. While the 2016 clown panic was the most infamous, it wasn't the only time eerie clowns have terrorized the public. The Northampton clown, 2013. In the UK, a clown resembling Pennywise was spotted wandering the streets of Northampton. Holding balloons and standing ominously in various locations, the clown never attacked anyone. But its unsettling presence caused widespread unease. Chicago's Phantom Clown Scare, 1990s. Reports from schoolchildren claimed that clowns in white vans attempted to abduct them. While no solid evidence emerged, mass panic spread across Chicago, with parents fearing for their children's safety. Gags the Green Bay Clown, 2016. Around the same time as the national clown panic, a clown in Green Bay, Wisconsin, was spotted wandering the streets at night, carrying black balloons. It was later revealed as a stunt for an upcoming horror film, but not before it added to the hysteria. The Staten Island Clown, 2014. A social media storm erupted when images of a disturbing clown started circulating in Staten Island. The figure, seen standing near train stations and roadsides, was part of a guerrilla marketing campaign but successfully frightened residents. France's clown attacks, 2014. In multiple French cities, reports emerged of violent clowns armed with knives chasing pedestrians. Police were called in to control the situation as terror spread across the country. From small towns to major cities, these eerie clowns have appeared time and time again. Some were hoaxes, some were pranks, but their motives remain unknown. So the next time you see a clown where it shouldn't be, ask yourself, is it just a joke, or is it something far worse?